best R&B all day.
Y'all be jamming?
Listen live on your smartphone, in your car, at work, or live at KissWTLZ.com. We're Kiss 107.1.
Is this something new we got going on the side? Take her out till I announce you in the house. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen. I am your host for this next tantalizing hour of conversation where we give it to you straight, no chaser, no filter. We bring you what's happening from Wall Street to Main Street, giving it to you straight, no chaser, no filter again, I guess. And we're talking about the things that impact your life, making sure that you are aware of what's going on. Not holding punches, telling it like it T.I. is, as the old folks used to say. I'm so glad to be with you. We're heading into the holiday season. Hopefully you've had a great holiday over the course of this past weekend. I certainly hope that you have. I am in the studio today with one of the people that you'll be seeing coming on a regular basis. We'll get to her in just a second. But before we do that, I want to talk about what's on my mind. And there's a couple of things that are on my mind that I want to talk about today. But the first thing that I want to talk about today is Coach Marshall Thomas. Amen. This past weekend, the city, his family, friends, well-wishers, everyone who's been impacted, players and coaches alike, those he mentored, those he empowered with his wisdom and his words, all laid to rest. This amazing man, Marshall Othello Thomas, affectionately called Coach T, was laid to rest this past Saturday at Victorious Believers Ministry. And I just wanted to share some things because this was a very, it was a beautiful how his family put him away. A rather lengthy service, I would say. But everything that was included was absolutely beautiful. So if you had the time to stay, it was absolutely amazing. I certainly apologize to Miss Gwen, Pastor Gwen Washington, I believe it is, who did the eulogy. I had to get up and take a roll. But I would love to just go back. I'm going to go back and take a listen to what she said. I'm sure it was beautiful. I did see one of his mentees, Coach Mike Thomas, did give his life to the Lord. And so I greatly appreciate everything that has been happened. I want to say to that family, to the wonderful legacy left behind, those beautiful daughters, amazing job, great job of really being strong and supporting your father, to his lovely wife who remains, to all of you that were out there that were a part of what you all put together. Absolutely amazing. Coach T is a pillar in the community. When we talk about Black excellence, when we talk about our fathers, that's right, Pastor Charlene Washington. Thank you. Y'all get me together real good. I knew the streams would get it correct. Pastor Charlene Washington, absolutely. But Coach T, I just wanted to make sure that at the beginning of this hour that we took a moment to really just celebrate him. I was in hiatus on last week, but Marshall, Coach T, Thomas Othello, I did not know that was the middle name. Marshall Othello Thomas, affectionately known as Coach T. Saginaw Public Schools, Morley, Houghton Elementary, Arthur Eddy Junior High, then graduating from Saginaw High School. I'm going to tell you, I believe, and I'm going to say this, y'all going to be mad. Get mad at me if you want to. In the middle of Coach T's memorial, I believe that some of y'all I think Saginaw High School was a cult. No, I'm just joking. No, but it is crazy. Like those who are part of the sweet, sweet black and gold, like y'all are relentless throughout but I loved it. I loved it all alike. All of us are desirous to be sweet, sweet black and gold, but we do admire the love that you have for your alma mater, how you all show up. The presentation of black and gold throughout the ceremony. There would be no other color that I would anticipate or expect to be seen there, because he is a representative. He was a pillar of the foundations of what took place there. The winning school in the city of Saginaw, doing all the great things that he did, coaching both basketball, football. I didn't know that he coached tennis and track and all of those other things. He was such an amazing man. And to just see how that took place. But the celebration of Saginaw High School, SHS was in the house, from chants to songs to memories. And it was just a blessing to see the community come out and support and to show respect and love to yet another pillar in our amazing city. I did not know all of his personal accomplishments, and I shared with the family. And I'm just kind of looking through different things to just remind myself they had such an amazing program that was on display. For those of you who are out there, an amazing program on display to celebrate his life and legacy. And they had a QR code, which I thought was really smart, well done, well crafted. Just all of the pictures and the amazing stories of Coach T, family pictures, community pictures, just showcasing. And I'll tell you, one of the most riveting moments of the entire celebration was to hear from his beautiful daughters that survive him, the mom, but the beautiful daughters, on how they shared the stories of their father, from the oldest to the middle to the baby girl to the not so baby girl who took the place of baby girl. And it was just amazing to hear those stories, to hear how they shared their father with the world and never felt like they shared him with the world. The life lessons, the lessons that a father always teaches his daughter. One of those stories about the necklace is something that I always say. A young girl's first piece of jewelry should always come from her father. So if it's a necklace, if it's a ring, and how he leaned into his daughter's like, no, you give that busted his ring back or his necklace back. An amazing story, heartfelt story about a man who seems bigger than life, but yet lives life every day with those who are most important to him. And so I just say thank you once again for the Thomas family for sharing that amazing man with our community who's impacted so many people. And I say to our community, it's time for us to continue to move forward. But we carry Sankofa. We reach back to the past and we reach forward to the future at the same time. And we as a community have to do that. I shared a couple weeks ago. It was actually last week now. On last week, I was given the amazing task, the awesome task to eulogize Maddie Thompson. And one of the thing that came to mind with me was the fact that we are losing so many of our pillars in our community. One of our pillars in our community was just, another Maddie Thompson, when we talk about education, her husband, Willie E. Thompson, all of those individuals who are so key, Dwayne Ferris, the first female mayor, Wilmerham McZee, just the list goes on of all of the great matriarchs and patriarchs of our community that have gone on to glory to be with the Lord, and how there is a void in our community. And there's so many people. There are some individuals that I think have the ability to step in and really provide the leadership that is necessary. Many will say, hey, Pastor Kareem, you're that guy. I don't think that I'm that man. I really don't. I think that there is a place for me in the space of leadership, but I do have my eyes keenly set on a few men and women who I believe carry the essence of what is necessary. But the thing that is necessary is that those men and women have to realize that they are next, that they are the voices, that they are now the seniors that carry the torch, the griots who carry the history of our community and understand the dynamics and the changing times that we're in. So I pray, my heart and prayer, no one can assign them the roles as leaders because I believe that challenging times and tough times, they determine who our leaders will be. And I hope that they would hear the call and the voices of the community and the need, and that they would see the need and be willing to make the sacrifice. Because let's be honest, leadership is sacrifice. Leading a community, leading a body of people, however, is a major sacrifice. And until you've been in a position to lead, you'll never fully understand the sacrifice that leaders that have gone on before us have made. So as I look at where we are and I look at what is needed, I look at all of the losses that we have had and the void that we now see in our community. Where are the voices of our fathers? And I use that word generically. Both those mothers who could get you together real good, tell you some things that maybe you didn't want to hear or receive, but do it in such a way with love and tenderness, sometimes a little tough love. But when you walked away, you knew that it was done in a manner to make you better. Where are the voices of those fathers who would instruct, who would provide wisdom, those men in the community that when they spoke, the community listened, who had not only a command of the community's attention, but also a command on the issues and what those issues meant and how we must deal with those issues. I call it the spirit of Issachar, who the Bible says the men who had an understanding of the time and they knew what to do. We have a lot of people who have influence, but influence without a knowledge of what to do is lost opportunity. So my prayer and my hope is, as we continue to move forward, that we'll continually give homage to those who are doing great work. As younger people, let's open our ears. As kids often say, do you have your listening ears on? Let's make sure that we're listening, we're paying attention, so that we can embrace and receive the benefit of what's going on. One of the biggest issues that we have today, and I'll address this from two different angles, is that our older people are saying, hey, our younger people are saying, hey, listen, we want to be involved. We want we want a space at the table. We want a microphone that's hot. We have ideas. We have passion. We want to move. And the word of God tells us, hey, he called the young because they're strong, and there's a need for our senior leaders, those who are most senior among us, to realize that if you're not creating, training, teaching your replacement, then you are creating a serious problem in how we will move forward as a community. Oftentimes we stay in positions too long. The saints used to say, I've been in this way a long time, and we not only are in this way, but we end up in the way. And so I would give an impassioned plea to all of our seniors who are out there to please be aware of the importance of what you carry, the volumes. You have decades of information and insight and wisdom that is necessary to be put into the life, into the arms, and to the hearts of the younger generations that are coming behind. So pull them aside, teach them the way. Don't just, give them a role, but allow them to be mentored by your greatness and everything that you provide and everything that you are. It is an essential piece of how we come of age in our community. So that is one point. The old people won't let us in. The old people won't let us in. They won't give us a shot. But then there's also another thought that is out there that is important to look, and that is from the older people. Young people want to come up. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to learn the process. They want to come in. Everything that is old is bad. Nothing that is old is good. We want to tear down systems and rebuild new ones without even understanding why and what exists the way that it exists. There is a lack of accountability among many of us that are younger. So we must be accountable. We must be teachable. We must be teachable. That means that someone should have the ability to correct, to give correction, to give instruction. We must be willing to hear, as to listen, and to be trainable. And those two things must be done. All of those things must be done at the same time. So I'm hoping, I see a comment here by Ms. Tanika Coleman. It was also our heart posture. What all of them exclude was a heart for what they believed in and for people of all generations, willing to pour the wisdom into us all. I certainly agree. So I just wanted to just give a shout out to all of those out there. I'm excited One thing, I'm never afraid of what's going on, and the things that I'm seeing with so many people being energized to to take action, being energized to get involved. I welcome all of it. And as we begin to really look at what must be done in 2018, March 2018, it is crazy that this is nearly been 8 years that I've been on the radio talking and having these conversations. But that very first conversation, we established the fact that this would be about rebuilding a wall of a community whose walls have been broken. The gates are off the wall. The walls have burned down. And what we must do as a community to rebuild the walls of our city. And that means that we need every single individual to be a part of what it is that we're doing and what this looks like. Amen. I certainly thank you, Jimmy Green. He said, well, you lead by example, my friend. Jimmy, I certainly appreciate that and the work that you do. So many of us in the community, so many folks don't realize, I'm going to say on the brown side of the community, all of the young people, or maybe they do, and that's a part of it. A number of the young men that you've taken under your wing, that you've inspired, that you've given opportunity to, that you've opened doors to. I think that most folks were kind of afraid because you was going to make every young black man a black Republican, and they were all going to be influenced by your politics. But there is a way that we all can learn, that we can be blessed and continue to grow. I am so jealous. My brother is in Costa Rica, listening to what's taking place. You deserve a rest on today. But for all of those who are in the community who are making great things happen, I certainly appreciate it. And I know what you're doing in Costa Rica. I almost think I know who you're with. So God bless you all. So just really quick, I want to give a shout out to everyone who's out there listening. To the person who's out there, someone said I look like Akon. Okay. God bless you. Tanyika Coleman, Jeffrey Bulls, Barbara Camel, Alma Caller, who's always listening and always supportive, Man Wilkins, the man on the keys, Ernestine Reamer, and so many of you that are out there that are listening. Sharice Steele Phillips, always a great supporter. Great Sunday evening to you as well. And we're glad to have you back. Hopefully your holiday was good. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. But before we leave, I want to give a couple birthday shout outs to folks out there on today. I know for one, Miss Sheila Meredith is out there. Y'all know Sheila. She's always cooking tacos or some ribs. She is taking scores at Arthur Hills games and all of those other things. She's a mama and a chef to everybody in the city of Saginaw. So we give you a shout out. Also to Contrez out there doing security. I cannot think of the name of your business in the moment. Contrez Frazier, but today he also celebrates a birthday. Shout out to my man out there protecting and leading and guarding some great names across the nation and around the world. One in particular is the GWOAT. So he's out there protecting her, doing great things with her. And if you have a personal birthday shout out, I'm going to allow you all an opportunity to call in and do a couple birthday shout outs when we come back from this first commercial break. I want you all to know we're going to talk about the power of mentorship and the importance of using the influence that you have in honor of the great coach, Marshall Thomas, the importance of mentorship and the power of influence, sharing and imputing what you have into the hearts and the minds of those who are coming behind. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back with more of Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
Honey, look, 4 calling birds.
Do they have cell phones?
Well, yeah, they're called calling birds because they have 4 lines of Cricket 5G.
How do they pay?
Oh, easy. Each line is only $25 a month.
Who are they calling?
Beats me. One sec, gotta take this.
Join Cricket Nation and get 4 lines for $25 per month each. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. New lines only. All lines must be selected. Unlimited plan fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G requires a compatible device. Is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
At Bank of America, we asked our teammates, what makes this company a great place to work?
There's very little that you can't accomplish working for Bank of America.
If you prove yourself, you can try over in a totally new way.
You can learn so much here. You're the owner of your career.
See how our teammates are growing in their careers at bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Ulta Beauty Cyber Monday is here. Take 30% off your favorite brands. Yes, the entire brand, like Tarte, Clinique, Benefit Cosmetics, and Estee Lauder. But hurry, these Cyber Monday deals end December 1st. Head to Ulta.com or the Ulta Beauty app today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
We all have regrets. That haircut, that text, missing out on Kohl's Cyber Days. Good news, you can fix at least one of those. Get up to 50% off gifts for everyone on your list. Sunday and Monday only at Kohl's. From cozy favorites to top toys, you've got 2 days until you miss out. Don't let Cyber Days be the sale that got away. Save at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. Select styles, offer ends December 1st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
If you've been waiting to try learning a new language with Babbel, now is the time. Black Friday has come early this year. Babbel's biggest sale is happening now. Unlock all of the languages on Babbel with a lifetime subscription at our best price of the year. Where will Babbel take you? Find out at Babbel.com. But hurry, this offer ends November 30th. Get Babbel's lifetime access for less for a limited time at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's special Black Friday deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is a total bullseye brought to you by Bay Archery Sales in Essexville. Snag a 10.450 stealth crossbow at $2,150 value for just $1,050. Or level up your game with the 10.505 with Evo X scope, normally $3,150, now only $1,575. These are top-tier high-power crossbows for half the price, but only while they last. Head on over to RocketGrabPlus.com to snag your Black Friday deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down!
Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
This is Kareem, and we're back with more of Straight Talk. So I'm glad to have you all with us on today. We're going to get into the conversation, but before we do that, I must give a shout out to the Saginaw Citywide Food Collective. There is a collective that has been established when there was a cut in the SNAP benefits, and our thought was, hey, this is a city in which food and insecurity is continually a problem. And so we're going to continue to do what we do. So this coming Thursday, December 4th, from 11 a.m. to until supplies last, as long as they last, we will be doing another food distribution from the collective that will be held at Mount Olive Institutional Baptist Church, right there on 6th Street. It is a pillar in the community. So if you are in need, or you know someone who is in need of additional food resources, the last one we had was absolutely amazing. This year we are, not this year, but this coming week on December 4th, we are really pushing activism by our young people. The class of 2026 from Saginaw United, as well as Impact Campus Ministry, will be really working together to really make sure we get this food distributed. I think that this is absolutely amazing to give such a lesson as we talk about mentorship today on how young people must be involved in giving back to our community. Many of those seniors that are graduating will need community service hours. What better way to do it than working with a collective from the city of Saginaw? So to all of my friends out there, Jeffrey Bulls over there, Saginaw Cap, I certainly thank you It's amazing when a conversation turns into action. To all of those people, those places, those organizations, I'm not going to start calling them all, but I will give a shout out to Miss Karen Lawrence Webster, a forever time friend. We have a running joke that she has put me in check about a number of times with her beautiful sister locks, which I absolutely love. I've always been a fan. But she has been doing an amazing job making sure that all of the I's have been dotted, T's crossed, and that we're being great fiscally responsible with the money and the dollars that you guys have provided. There are ways for you to continue to contribute. On the first Sunday of this month, we're asking all pastors once again to take that good that good faith offering so that we can continue to do this work. It is great, the collaboration that's taking place, seeing all of the organizations come together from Saginaw Valley to the NAACP, to my brothers over at Team Loyalty, from the folks at Help, and all of the organizations in the community coming together, doing a great thing, doing what the village has to do, which is take care of itself. So we're going to move forward, and I want to get to the real meat of what our conversation is today as we bring in one of my young people. She's a mentee, I guess, for me. She's a mentee, I guess, for me, but she is an amazing young woman. She is doing great things. She has recently come on board. And if you notice, I'm leaving that Saginaw City Food Collective on there this coming Thursday, December 4th, 11 a.m., Mount Olive Institutional Baptist Church. Please like, tag, share this with your family, friends, and everyone else. To Bishop Campbell, I'm going to tell you, Bishop Campbell, man, you have been doing this work, I think you said, since 2007. I know I was introduced to this concept. Someone said something to me, man, this last food distribution that we did was the absolute best. It was organized, this, that, and the other. And they were like, Kareem, I was like, no, I can't take credit for that. What I do is the mentors that I've had in different spaces and places, and I've had a number of them. But Bishop Campbell, I just want to give you your flowers, Bishop Campbell, because you were the first introduction that I had to doing this. You and now State Representative Amos O'Neill. Representative Amos O'Neill reached out to me, got me involved with things in the community, then allowed me to bring athletes as I worked with them, giving donations and doing that work. But my first time ever distributing food was with Bishop Larry Camel and State Representative Amos O'Neill. So I followed your plan that you had with Pictures on Patrol, the work that you were doing, the way you would set it up, thinking about how people are coming in. So Bishop Camel, amazing job. When we talk about our seniors and those who are paving the way, allowing young people a place to come in and a space to use their gifts, I celebrate the two of you for being an example of that. And I thank you, because I would not be where I am today without your voices, your influence, and your wisdom. So I want to thank you all for what you're doing. But we're going to talk continually about the power of mentorship and the influence that you have and how you use that. I have with me your burst of inspiration, Miss Amaya Bradley. She's no stranger to you all. You guys have been here for a while. Amaya, give a shout out to the audience.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing on this beautiful Sunday?
So she is here. And in this moment, we're going to get into this conversation. Maya, why don't you just, I don't know what you have going on or what your thoughts are in your heart. Share what's in your heart. And before we get into the conversation.
Well, first, I want to say thank you for this opportunity once again. And everyone, if you're not encouraged, please be encouraged on today. I know it's the holiday times and some people may be sad and everything. Well, always remember God is with you. Keep that smile on your face. And whatever you're going through, if you're still here, God is pushing you to be stronger.
All right. Listen to that. Giving that inspiration. I love it. All right. So as we talk about mentorship, and we were talking at the beginning of this hour, I was sharing with all of you that are out there, if you have a birthday shout out that you like to do for today or for some time this week, we're going to start giving that opportunity for you to do that. Number is 989-297-107.
989-921-7107.
That's why I have a producer, because I just can't get it right in my head. So what he said, say that number one again, put it in the stream for me as well.
Yeah, it is 989-921-7107.
All right, we are a family, and a family celebrates itself. So if you have somebody you'd like to give a birthday shout out to, we're going to let you know that the lines are open. Yes.
I have a birthday shout out to my first lady, my aunt Yacht. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. No singing, just birthday shout out. But go ahead. When you talk about the people that have influenced your life, Amaya, as a young woman, who are those people, and what did those moments look like? What did they feel like first, and then what do they look like?
Well, one, my biggest supporter, somebody that I look up to the most is my mother. I don't even know. Words can't even explain how I feel about my mom. But my mom and like Mother Pryor, Mother Alethea Taylor, also as Clerk Nichols Taylor as well, as me going into being a politician, somebody to look up to. You on the hand in hand, somebody that's in the community that works hard. What that looks like, looking into everybody that has poured into my life and everything. I look back at how I respond to different things, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I learned this from so and so, and this, that, and the other. But the key things that I've learned from each one of you all is to make sure that I keep myself humble, and I keep myself together. I keep myself together for my, here you go, I'm sorry. I keep myself together for my community as well as for myself, keeping God first and everything. So using those tools and everything that you all have shown me in the past, that is what pushed me to go forward.
Okay. So when you look at that, how have those moments of mentorship, what did they feel like in the moments that you were being mentored? Because mentorship don't always feel good.
No, I think we had a conversation not too long ago when I was like, sometimes I take criticism and then I look at it and I'm like, okay, man, I want to cry. I feel like I failed, or I feel like I'm not doing the right thing when it comes to mentorship. But people always have to realize that mentorship is also, if you have a mentor, they love you. So once you have that person that loves you and that wants to see you grow, just because they're telling you something that you probably don't want to hear doesn't mean that they're being mean to you. They're actually trying to see you grow. They want to see growth within you. So I know we have conversations all the time, and I'm like, okay, Pastor, I don't know. This is another. You like, Amaya, if you want growth, you have to take that sacrifice. And like you said earlier in the chat, like you were saying, like you have to have those sacrifices to be a leader. So
it's funny because I talk with people about this all the time. The mentors in my life, I swear they wanted to kill me. I just they didn't want me to have no fun. They wanted me to be dry and dead and boring and all of those things. And it just seemed like they didn't get it. They were outdated. They were passe. And what I had to come to realize was they didn't choose me to be their mentee. That's a very important piece that we all need to understand.
Mm-hmm.
The mentor does not choose the mentee, but the mentee has to choose the mentor. And I think that's an important piece to learn. And so whether you're 15 or you're 25 or you're 35 or you're 55, if you see someone who has elements of their life, of their business, of how they operate, how they move, they're in places that you find that you're interested in, you have to go to them. Dr. Byron Hayes, and I'm going to say something to say this right now. Dr. Byron Hayes, and he would always say, why are you so mean to me? Why are you so mean to me? Because we have, I can't say I've known him my entire life because he's known me longer. He's known me my entire life, and at every phase of my life, he has always said, I really like the way you serve. I like the way you serve your man of God. I like the way you are supportive. And he would always say this. For decades, he would say, I love the way you show up. I love the way you play the second in command, all of those things. And he would, we would have this relationship. And it was crazy because as a young man, being headstrong, and that's why I say you have to be teachable. There's a lot that I'm learning. There's a lot that I'm yet learning. There are so many things that I'm still being hit over the head and learning that I have to, first of all, kill my pride. I have to be willing to forgive. I have to be willing to let go. All of the lessons that a good mentor will teach you. Now, you know you were wrong about that, right? You need to go back and do that again. Those things don't feel good. You know you should not be in that place. Well, I'm young. Well, yes, you're young, but if you have an assignment and you desire to do certain things, certain spaces will disqualify you for certain levels of service. These were things that mentors shared to me, and I promise you, I thought that they wanted to end me and just never have any fun. But Dr. Hayes would continually always say those things, and I remember him pulling me in one day into his office. I had visited the church for something, and he pulled me into the office and he said something that was really hard to me. He didn't say it harshly, but what he said was really challenging. And Dr. Byron Hayes, if you want to remember what you said, or you want me to remind you, give me a call. As a matter, I'm going to call you anyways, just to check in. But he was not somebody that I would be in a space all the time. He was not someone that we were key or talk on the phone, but he was just one of those voices that I trusted because of where he was able to operate and the level of his success, that I didn't know what he had. So I had to be willing to shut up, learn, and to submit. Those are all really hard words. I had to get a shut up anointing. I had to learn to submit, and I had to be humble. And so in that process, he said something that was very hard. And I left there thinking, like, this dude don't even know me. Like, who does he think he is? Gonna pull me aside. I have a pastor. My pastor would tell me, I have parents and uncles and granddaddies. Who does he think he? And this was the attitude. He doesn't even know this. So I'm saying something that will be a revelation to him. But as I continue to listen and as I continue to live, I realized something, that every single time that he would speak to me, we would have moments where it would be combative because you don't always agree with your mentors. And I didn't ever go to him and say, you are a mentor, but he was a man who saw something in me that would share and that would inspire and that would impart wisdom and that would always give a word of correction. And the longer I lived and the more I was, just continuing through what it was that I was doing, I was continually reminded by his words. I could hear them echoing in certain situations. And it made me aware that maybe this man knew what he was talking about. And I'll tell you that years later, it was probably a decade later, that exactly what he was sharing with me, that he was warning me, that he was guarding me to be aware of, was so on point. And if I had not listened to that voice of that senior who saw it ahead of the road, because we think we know everything.
Yeah.
If that mentor voice was silenced, I would have been in a shipwreck. So I want to thank you, Dr. Dr. Hayes, for being such an influencer and being important and influencing those young people who are out there. Jimmy Green, I see you saying 100%. Age doesn't determine it either. You're absolutely right. Latoya Baker, mentorship is a must. Even at my big age, I still have mentors that help me along my journey. All right. So we were talking about mentorship in that capacity, but I want to ask, okay, how many mentors do you have? And let's talk about that. How many mentors do you have and what are those mentors for?
That's a good question. I never really sat down and actually thought about how many mentors that I have. Wow. Okay. I know I have my pastor and first lady, and then I have
what do they mentor you for?
They mentor me for my spiritual life.
Okay.
How I move forward within my spiritual life. And then I also have my mother, who's very nurturing,
becoming a young
woman, challenges me to do the things that she never had the chance to do, whatever. You are my mentor. And I feel like when as my mentor, it helps me in the business realm, spiritual realm, and the community.
Okay.
And Mother Taylor, political, as well as in my spiritual realm as well. So
you have different mentors that have different levels of influence. How do you determine, and this is important for all of you out there. So you have, I think you said about 5 different mentors. How do you determine which voice to listen to when some of those spaces overlap? Is there a process or a system by which you vet which way do I go when you have maybe conflicting information from different points of opinion?
So good thing is when I go to my mentors or anything, or if they come to me about something, God has sent them to me.
Okay.
And I say that because a lot of things that has gone on in my life within the past year, in the past few years, actually, all my mentors have been telling me the same thing. And it might be in a different form or different way how they say it, but I know I ask God for wisdom, and I ask God, okay, give me a sign, have them show me something A, B, C, and D, and then he has my mentors tell me. So I might talk to Mother Taylor one day, and then talk to you, then talk to my mom, then talk to Pastor Chris and First Lady, and y'all are telling me the same thing. So I don't usually have those type of challenges. I'll think I do. I'll talk to one person, and then I'll talk to the other person and be like, okay, let me see if you are on the same page. And 9 times out of 10, they're on the same page.
Okay. Cheryl Walker, my dear sister, said, God speaks in one voice. That was exactly my point for that question, because oftentimes we have to make sure that we have mentors. Our mentor has to fit the responsibility. The spirit of discernment is important. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. It's important for us to understand that when God assigns someone as a mentor, you say, hey, that is an individual that I believe that I'm assigned to. That is someone that I want to lock into, that I want to be connected to. When we have that, we have to understand that there's always going to be some level of discernment or unity, a one voice, if you would. And I think that that's important, because oftentimes we assign people to us as mentors that were really only supposed to be there for a particular reason or a season. And we have to understand that when people are locked into who we are, they understand who we are as mentees. They understand what is required to unlock and put on tap the potential that is on the inside. And I say this because there are individuals that I watch, and I'll say this. Jimmy's out there. I talk to Jimmy. I watch Jimmy. I watch how he operates. I see who he operates, because you can learn a lot by watching people. He'll call me every now and then and be like, I need to have lunch with my favorite pastor. And we'll sit out and we'll talk and we'll shoot the breeze and have some conversations. There are other individuals that I watch, and I'm not going to name everybody out there because I don't want people feeling any kind of way. But I know that Jimmy's in the stream, so I do want him to know there's Dr. Hayes. I've watched for a very long time a Representative O'Neill. I've watched for a very long time other individuals that are in the business community, and I have conversations. And there are people that are out there, because mentors. I always say this, and I talk with this, and Bishop Jake said this a long time ago, and it stuck with me, that every individual needs these key individuals in your life. You need a baker who will be in your life. You need a butler, and you need a pharaoh. And each of those individuals play a very significant role of mentorship in your life. A baker is the individual that recognizes raw ingredients. A baker has the ability to take essential pieces, pull them together. I know my grandmother was an amazing baker, and she would pull together pieces of things and put together. And you'd be like, what it is? She'd be like, barbecue fish surprise. What is that, Grandma? But she can pull raw ingredients together. And a baker has the ability to see in your life all of the things that are necessary, the things that you may overlook that have a value. They pull those things together and they help you to create something beautiful. That's a baker. The next person is a butler. And a butler is an individual who opens doors, right? And so we see this in the life of Joseph. These are people who play key pieces of him going from the pit of his life to the palace. And if we're ever going to make the transition from what is or what's failing or what's limited, or where we're in a deep, dark pit trying to figure out how we're going to aspire to greater things, we have to have these three key individuals in our life. He then met a butler, and the butler opened doors. He remembered his dream when he got before Pharaoh, and he opened the door for the next opportunity. We are at a place that our butlers will open a door and introduce us to a place. And then there is the last individual, which is a Pharaoh. For Joseph, the Pharaoh was the individual who put him in position, and he gave him a platform, and he financed his dream. So those three individuals are so vitally important for every individual to have when we talk about the issues and the specifics of what mentorship will look like. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back with more Straight Talk.
You're listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1.
I need a new vehicle, but I can't pay retail. Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to McDonald GMC Cadillac, where I can get some straight talk.
McDonald GMC, where we make car buying fun. Stuck in a loan or lease? Mac, the trade man, will get you released. And now, warranty for life at McDonald. Why buy a Chevy when you can own a GMC for the same price or less? New GMC 2500 heavy-duty diesel, 12 grand off MSRP, or no interest financing on every clearly marked unit. Sierra 1500 elevation crew cab, $172 per month lease. Terrain, $199. Both with zero security deposits. We're bigger, we're better, we're professional grade. State Street, Saginaw, McDonald GMC.
Approved credit to all qualified plus tax title license and 280 title and registration process fee. Bonus cash with qualified 2020 or newer trade. Plus dealer discount on Sierra SLE through GMF. EV Hungary 2778 per thousand. 24 months 10,000 miles. 5452 for GMFS. Offer valid on heavy duty SLE. Dated equity refinance. Rebates and incentives to dealer. Offers not in combination. Expires 30/25.
If you're injured in an auto accident, there's one name to know. Gower Law. Call the local experts, not some big downstate law firm. Hire local. Gower Law. And get the power of Gower. They get results and they know how the local courts work. Auto injury? Contact GowerLaw.com.
Cyber Monday starts now at Macy's. That means all new deals are here, in-store and online. Like huge savings on boots and shoes from Steve Madden, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, and more. Plus, exclusives you'll only find at Macy's, like 60 to 65% off Charter Club and Hotel Collection bedding. Plus, Club Room and Style & Co. sweaters for $29.99 and under. But hurry, these Cyber Monday deals won't last long. Shop now and save big at Macy's. Savings on select styles. Exclusions apply.
Ulta Beauty Cyber Monday is here. Take 30% off your favorite brands. Yes, the entire brand. Like Tarte, Clinique, Benefit Cosmetics, and Estee Lauder. But hurry, these Cyber Monday deals end December 1st. Head to Ulta.com or the Ulta Beauty app today. Ulta Beauty. Gifting happens here.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Do you like a really good deal? Are you still working on your Christmas shopping list? Rocket Grab Plus has you covered. Right now, you can score amazing half-off deals at local area businesses like Jason Weber Wildlife Center, Fuzzy's Ice Cream Parlor, the Bubble Tea Shop in Bay City, K-Wall's Kitchen inside Antique Warehouse, and Sips 476 Cafe. Head on over to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag an incredible deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
At Lowe's, before the holidays is the perfect time for upgrades and upkeep. During Black Friday, get up to 50% off select major appliances and buy more to save more with up to an additional 25% off when you bundle select major appliances. Plus, grab select DeWalt 20-volt max drill or impact driver kits for just $99. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 12/3. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Welcome to Cricket Wireless. Santa?
I've got to get Mrs. Claus a gift or I'm in a whole lot of trouble.
How about a single unlimited line? Only $35, plus a free Moto G 5G.
Oh, you're a lifesaver. Here, take a present.
Says it's for Timmy in Des Moines.
Never heard of him.
Join Cricket Nation and get a single line for $35 per month, plus a free Moto G 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket.
Cricket may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Requires activation of new line on select unlimited plan or higher. Pay $40 first month. New lines only. First month service charge. Tax to sale fees. Terms and restrictions apply. Cricket 5G is not available everywhere. See cricketwireless.com for details.
It's Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on Kiss 107.1.
All right, this is Kareem. We're back with our last segment of Straight Talk. Before we get to the stream, what I want to do is Jimmy Green said something that is so important that I want to make sure that we include in this conversation. He said that great mentors don't set the mentees' GPS. They just help them understand where the roadblocks are and detours might be, but they never change the end destination. That is for the mentee to do. And what that means simply is this, that we have to make sure that we're not trying to create mini me's, but we are sharing the information, the resources that have value, and that we empower those young people to use that and create their own whatever it is. But we're not trying to create little mentees. Sometimes we get so enamored with ourselves and that somebody has a desire to do what we've done or impressed with what we've done that we get locked into recreating ourselves. And that is not what it's called. We have a phone call in, I believe it's a birthday shout out. Can we get that caller on the line? Caller, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
And who do we have the pleasure of speaking with on this wonderful evening?
This is Shantisha.
Shantisha. Well, welcome to Straight Talk. You have a birthday shout out. Why don't you go ahead with your shout out?
Hello, everyone. I just want to wish my mom, Sheila Meredith, a happy 57th birthday. I love you. Thank you for being you.
Wow, such a warm and heartfelt shout out. We certainly thank you, Shantisha. Continue to listen to Straight Talk. We thank you. And to Sheila Meredith. How old did she say? 57? Wow, she does not look. She looks high school age. All right, thank you so very much. She's looking great. She's lost all that weight, gotten herself together. Happy birthday once again to Miss Sheila Meredith. So we have a couple minutes here, and we've been talking about the important role that mentors play. I want to turn the corner just a little bit and talk about the importance of having influence. Amaya, when we talk about influence, we talk about mentors, we talk about all of these things. How do you view influence, or the influence of mentors, the influence that you've been able to amass, the importance of influence in your life?
Influence is very important, and not just in my life, but in everybody's life, because we were just talking about this with our students this week. About influence. How can you be a good influence to one another and not follow in the path of, the people that are being bad or whatever in the school and everything? But influencers play a big part, because with the mentors that you have to make sure that because like you said, mentees usually pick their mentors. The mentors doesn't pick the mentees. So when you pick your mentor, make sure that they have a good influence, not just on your life, but on others' lives as well, because that will reflect on how they'll be in your life and how they'll show up for you, and how the things that you aspire to do in your life as well.
I think it's super duper important. When I look at influence, there are two things that I consider extremely valuable. One is information. I think that information and how to apply it and how to use it is one of the world's greatest forms of currency. That is why I am continually reading a book. If you ask any person who is around me, they'll say, Kareem, you can talk about anything, can't you? Because I was always taught, one of my mentors, Bishop Marvin C. Pryor, since I was in 7th grade, would always say, he who reads leads. It is a personal mantra that I've taken on, that has become a part of my life. So I am always reading 1 or 2 books at the same time. I am always doing something to empower myself with more information, a better understanding. And I want to give you guys, I always share with anyone that I am personally coaching or mentoring, I say this to them. You have to create a level of understanding to where you can be flexible and can speak intelligently on a variety of different things, right? Topics. So in order for you to really have the information that will make you a player or influential in a space, I always recommend that they get something called Flipboard or Fliptogram. These are apps that you can put on your computer. So if you say that you want to be a business person, or you say you want to be an artist, or you say that you want to be a flight attendant or something of that nature, what Flipboard or Fliptogram allows you to do is to pick the topics that you say that you want to be involved in, that you want to have influence in, right? And it will every single day give you an article, a magazine. These things are reputable. It gives how-to manuals every single day. So every single day you read or you study something that you say is important to you, that you want to have a strong knowledge base on. So I would recommend that every individual do that, because as my mentor said, and I say to you today, he who reads leads, because information and how to use it is one of the greatest forms of currency. Now, as we look at information gives you influence, because people go to people who have the ability to answer problems. And I share with people all the time who I'm talking with, and I talk with people like, how can I ask for a raise, or how can I get more, or how can I increase, the money that I make each year? And I say, what problems are you able to solve? And what people don't realize is that when you are able to solve problems, I learned a long time ago, I don't want to be a problem starter or a creator of problems. I don't want to talk about problems. There are enough people who address problems. The issue is that we don't have enough people who will critically think, reverse engineer from the problem to from the answer to be able to solve problems. And your ability to solve a problem will determine your influence. It will determine the level of pay and how you live your life. So become a problem solver. When you can solve a problem, when you have the ability to do that, that will determine how much you're worth. The level of the problem that you are will determine how much you are valued at. All right. So I often look at people who are solvers of problems. One of my great friends, and I consider him a dear friend. Our lives collide all of the time. We don't get chances to sit and talk. But when I look at what Pete and Sam Shaheen are doing right now, there is a real issue, and this has been going on for a very long time in our community in terms of revitalization, development, growing our population. And so in order to do that, we have to have 18-hour living in spaces that have kind of gone neglected or without any real investment for a period of time. And so what I see them doing is creating an infrastructure of creating 18-hour living. Now, so what I do when I look at that influence that they have, and because they're problem solvers, they also have a great level of influence in the community. And so when you solve problems, solving problems, being a critical thinker, being a solution and actively involved with making things happen gives you an influence because people need people who can solve problems. And so much of what we see going on with this medical diamond, it didn't start today. When I look at Dick Garber and how he put together what we saw, which was beautiful for the entire county with the entire Memorial Cup, that was a dream that was 10, 15 years deferred that he worked on, but he began to solve the problem. Because now if we can do the Memorial Cup, we can do other things. We can. It was a tester. It was an opportunity for us to see what the community and Saginaw County could collectively do. So it showed his ability to solve a problem. Now, what does that do? When we talk about what Saginaw is capable of, it gives him a level of influence because not only has he been able to solve that problem, but he's shown that he's capable of doing it and doing it well. Pete Shaheen, when I look at this medical diamond, he and his brother and his family and Sam and their parents, his father starting up, those are individuals who are influential in our community. How did they gain that influence? By solving problems. Housing is an issue. They're building housing, multifamily housing. They're doing multi-use buildings. So let's put some commercial in there along with real estate. Beautification, destruction, and revitalization of blighted areas. So when you solve a problem and you solve it well, it gives you influence. And influence can often open doors that your money cannot. And I think that's one of the things that's so important. When I look at the experiences that I've had in life, and I look at the places that God has graced me to be and places he allowed me to be, many of the things and the experiences that I had, the doors that were open were not because I was one of the wealthy individuals. Being able, as a young black man from the hood on Cornelia Street, growing up in the city of Saginaw, being raised between the city of Saginaw and Carlton, graduating from Carlton High School, being able to go to a venture capital fund on Fifth Avenue in New York City that overlooks all of Manhattan, being able to have those experiences really happened because I had mentors and I was found in places where I was able to garner influence and solve problems. So as we talk about mentorship on today, and you're with me today, Maya, and also my guy, Matt, the producer in the background, and those of you who are listening via social media, let's make sure that we understand that influence and information are key things. When you look for mentors who have information, but also have influence. Not that they're a good influence on you, but they are influential in the community and the spaces in which they operate. That they have the ability to take their pass, scan their pass into a room, allow you access into that room, and then you have to follow what are the rules and the mechanics in that room so that you can operate in greatness and study them. Don't go into a room talking. This is another thing. This is my last little piece that I want to say. We're going to leave here. Mentees, those of you who are mentees, one thing that I learned very early is I would go into spaces that I went in on borrowed passes, meaning that my mentor got me access into a space. And I would see so many people who were in there on a borrowed pass that when they got into a space, they began to talk. And they would talk and give information and say things that they had absolutely no expertise in. When you are afforded an opportunity by your mentor to go into a space, get a shut up anointing. Get into the room, be quiet, watch, learn in silence, because your silence will be attributed to you as wisdom. This is not a time for you to impress people with what you don't know. This is the time for you to watch, get all of the cues, learn how to operate in that room, find out who are the influencers, the movers and shakers. You can only do that when you watch with a keenful eye. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Thank you, Miss Amaya Bradley, for being here on today. I look forward to 2026. This new thing that we're doing. To all of you that are out there, take care of yourselves and each other. Jimmy Green, bring some of that sunshine back this way from Costa Rica. God bless you all. Grace and peace.
You've been listening to Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen on KISS 107.1. The views and opinions expressed on Straight Talk with Kareem Bowen by the host, its guest, or call-ins do not necessarily represent the opinion of this station, the staff, its owners, Alpha Media USA.